Hey, what's happening, everybody? Hopefully, everybody's Saturday has been awesome. Now, for the most part, my weekend has been going pretty smoothly. Actually, my week in general has been okay. Now, if it wasn't for yesterday, actually, it would have been actually been pretty decent. Couple hiccups this week, and eBay scammers, of course, which is a pain in the ass always. And then you've got the issue with the house, house falling apart, old house. That was a pain in the ass. Hey, AJ, what's going on, buddy? Hey, thanks, man. Hopefully, this will be a nice, fun video for today. Shoot, man, last couple weeks, I've been worried that I really haven't had much to talk about. And this week, kind of same thing, man. I really didn't think I had anything to any focal point, any topics of discussion, but last couple of days with the events that have kind of transpired, yeah, it's given me something to kind of rely on to, kind of bring up in topic form. So a lot of things to go over today. So we are going to have quite a number of things to to talk about. Uh, as you guys saw in the title, I need this drink today, man. But before we get into some of the pain in the ass adulting things, I want to kind of hit on some of the positives, some of the things to actually look forward to on the channel. Sad as always. Adulting, responsibilities, sometimes. I mean, sometimes life is good. Sometimes life brings you happiness, but responsibilities, that it's part of life, right? It's part of being an adult, and you want to get married, you want to have a home, and you know what? It's necessary, right? But we'll kind of hit on that in just a short bit. But this coming Tuesday, guys, we are going to be hitting on the very last episode of the Tuesday show in reference to the LJNs. And I was sitting in the hot tub today because damn, I had to mow the freaking front and backyard, and I freaking needed that relaxation after being on my feet all freaking day long. After, um, kind of working with the restorers because we had a leak in the house yesterday, and plumbers were here all freaking day, like all freaking night. The restorers were here, so being on our feet all day, then going outside and mowing, being out in the sun, and everything. Man, I needed that relaxation, and I was kind of thinking about the Tuesday shows. So initially, I kind of thought about wanting to do the Hasbro's, right? It had been a long while since I had harped on reviewing the Hasbro figures, and it had been a couple years since I did a full on Hasbro review. And the idea was probably do, maybe 2 videos, 3, 4 videos in a week. But I looked at it, I'm like, man, this darn episode took over an hour. What was it, like an hour and a half, something like that? Hour 10, hour 15, something like that, to knock out that first episode. I'm like, man, I can't stockpile 2 episodes in a week, for the viewers, 3 episodes, 4 episodes in a week on this. I'm like, no, man, that's way too much to pile on for the viewers. Yeah, Tuesday shows weren't planned. I mean, it just happened to be Tuesday was the day that I uploaded that first episode. And now the Tuesdays is like synonymous with the channel, right? Tuesdays are like the go-to must-see TV for the channel. So, looking at all 11 series and then coming back looking at all the prototypes and mailways. Were there any other episodes other than the prototypes and the 11 series? I don't think so. I think that was it. We didn't look at the rings. I kind of skipped that part, which kind of sucks. Were there anything else that we looked at that we went over? I think that was it. I think that was it. So 12 episodes. And then we moved on to the LJNs. And even though LJNs were, half the size, half the series of Hasbro's, based on everything else that I kind of combined, into the layout of LJNs, it's been just as long as the Hasbro's. So 6 series of LJNs, Grand Toys with Series 6. This very last episode, unposted, not until this coming Tuesday, but technically after Series 6, I was supposed to do the variants and prototype episode. But because I wanted to incorporate these specific figures that I don't have yet into that episode, I wanted to give as much time as possible for those figures to arrive. It doesn't look like I'm going to have them for the episode. So I am going to go ahead and film that episode and publish it without those figures. And whenever they do arrive, I'll just make it a one-off episode, whenever. But 6 series, the prototypes and variants episode, the thumb wrestlers, the bendies, the posters, and then the full-on episode that had video games and the rings, that had the stretch wrestlers, that had the different accessories, all bolted in. That's taken up 11 episodes in of itself. So you look at it, 23 weeks worth of Tuesday shows. So almost 6 months now we've been working on, these different reviews for, Hasbro's and LJNs. After this upcoming Tuesday with the very last LJN show, we are going to move on to Remco's, AWO Remco's. And that should take up about 5 or 6 weeks worth of episodes. I'm looking at working on the WCW Gloobs after that. That should only take about maybe 3 weeks because I do want to incorporate the unreleased Series 3 and maybe, possibly, original San Francisco Toy Makers. But I'm only going to go as far as I think Series 4 or 5. Whatever the vibrating figures, I think that was Series 5, if I'm not mistaken. So once you start getting into like the 4-inch figures, I don't care about those. So I'm not going to like do all of the series. Once it gets to Series 4, Series 5, that's it. So I'm not going to make that a super long series or anything. But right now, the goal is to continue the Tuesday shows for Remco's and Gloobs, and that's it. If the viewers want original San Francisco, I will continue going for that show, but that's pretty much it. But as we move on into the summertime, right now I'm only looking at three standard shows. The Sunday magazine review videos, which seem to be my most popular videos far and wide. The Tuesday shows until I run out of reviews to do, of course. And of course, these Saturday live streams, which I really enjoy because I really enjoy speaking to you guys. So I'll keep making these live streams for, as long as you guys tune in. And I'll keep this going, throughout the summer, of course. But this week will probably be the last week that you'll probably see, regular weekly episodes or daily episodes of, standard episodes like the Wednesday a magazine review of the Hasbook. This week is the last episode of, because we're going to be looking at what is it, mailways and Manic figures and bootleg figures. You're going to look at rings, and you're going to look at the Royal Rumble figures, and you're going to be looking at advertisements and stuff like that. So that's going to be the last episode of the Has book. I'm starting to slow down on the NES, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis gameplay. I actually filmed an episode of Jurassic Park for Super Nintendo. Played about 20 minutes. Excuse me. Actually played about 20 minutes of that video game. I literally made it through about 15 to 22 seconds of that game. But literally, I like I said, about 20 seconds of the video game, I could not make it past the first 20 seconds because I kept dying. But when you get on YouTube, you can literally find other people who posted the full-on hour and a half gameplay. Why would viewers want to sit down and watch me die over and over again for 20 minutes because I can't figure out the damn game? So, watching me cringe for like 20 minutes trying to figure this damn thing out. I'm like, it might be funny for people to watch that, but I'm like, should I post it? Should I not post it? I don't know. People might get a chuckle out of it, but I want something where people actually can see the video games for the wrestling. The wrestling video games were fine, but something like that, if I like do a Zelda playthrough, Zelda I actually beat, and it actually took me into like my 30s or something before I finally beat that darn game. But I had actually do a printout of of an actual playthrough, and actually had to look at this printout to actually know, hey, you know, go here, go here, go here to actually figure out how to beat that darn game because I would never figure it out on my own. Especially when you get to like the alternate universes and stuff. I'm like, oh hell no. But so the Has book is ending. The video games, I picked up more video games. The tag team wrestling, I got the new CIB. I purchased the WCW video game CIB, so that's going to be added. That might come towards the end of the week. But these 3 episodes, the magazine review, the live stream, and the Tuesday shows, those are basically going to be your standard from this point forward. I don't know if you guys are friends on Facebook. It took me a million years to start using Facebook. I to this day I still hate Facebook. I only set up Facebook probably 2 years ago or so because a friend, he's like, hey, when you created YouTube, you should probably get on Facebook because, kind of market yourself sort of. I'm like, yeah, whatever, it makes sense. But I try to use Facebook, but I mean, it's not really my thing, right? YouTube is really like the most I ever try to like use social media. But occasionally I'll post something on YouTube, on Facebook, and then I'll put that same information on YouTube community notes, right? So if you don't see it on Facebook, if you're not friended me on Facebook, you can see it, the same information on YouTube community notes. And I came across this seller, and I hate this. This drives me nuts. And selling on eBay, buying on eBay, huge part of my life, last few years, right? As a collector, but as a buyer, I live on eBay. More as a buyer than a seller because I barely sell anything. It drives me nuts. But NECA Toonie Terrors. I got to buy a lot of these figures loose now because what do? I buy the carded figures and I buy them loose, right? And I sit the loose figures in front of the carded figures, and the display is beautiful. The Tarman figure, right, for Night of the Living Dead. I mean, as carded, it's probably like a $50 figure. Even loose, even loose, I think those darn things sell for $30 to $50 or more. So I mean, it's a pricey figure, and I went on auction. I got it. I went on auction, and I probably got it for like $19, 19.50. Shipping, purchase price, taxes. I think I paid $25 for it. I noticed it didn't come with a stand or anything, but I reached out to the seller, and I'm like, yeah, this was before the auction ended, probably a couple days beforehand. I asked the seller, "Hey, does this come with any accessories? Stand or anything?" A couple days beforehand, no response. I risked it, bid on it, kept bidding on it until I won. Auction ended. I paid immediately because that's the type of buyer I am, right? And a couple days later, no response. Auction ended. Paid immediately. Sent the buyer or the seller another message. Hey, if this comes with accessories, please include those accessories. A couple days later, they finally respond. Some kind of asshole message like, "Hey, at no point did we say that this came with accessories." No, it didn't say that it came with accessories, but I'm just saying, hey, if it does, and you didn't notate that it did, or maybe you found accessories or something. Hey, could you please include it? If it doesn't come with accessories, it doesn't come with accessories. You can't include something you don't have. I understand that. I still want the item. Shoot. I mean, I bid on it for a reason, right? Um, but I'm like, look, if you're going to take 4 days to respond to my initial message, 2 days after the second message, I'm sick and tired of these asshole people on eBay. I will always respond same day. Usually, I respond within minutes, hours, something. There is no reason why you should not respond within a 24-hour time frame. That to me, that's ludicrous. Now, if you send me a message at 10:30 at night and I'm in bed sleeping, I mean, well, if I wake up at 9 p.m. or 9 a.m., check my phone, maybe at like 9:15 or something, I'll probably respond, at that point. So I can understand, a 9 hour, delay, 10-hour delay, 15-hour delay, something like that. But to go 4 days without responding to an initial message, another 2 days after a second, that's crazy. So I'm like, no, I'm gonna be petty too. I'm that's me now. I am starting to become really freaking petty because I'm getting frustrated with a lot of these assholes on eBay, right? If you're gonna wait multiple days to respond, I'm gonna be petty. I'm gonna do the same damn thing to you. So I'm gonna wait 2 days, 4 days to respond too. A couple days later, freaking asshole cancels my order. She sends them, or I don't know if it's a girl or a guy. I'm assuming it's a girl, but it says Christina, but it could be Christian. I don't know. Uh, oh, I assume because you didn't respond that you didn't want the item anymore. And then the asshole puts in the remarks, customer requested cancellation, means that it affects my account and it means that there's no effect against their account. And because there was no transaction, I can't leave negative feedback against their account. Scum. I'm like, and then here's the thing. When I looked at their account. They had it relisted. But when you look at their account, there was like 4 days remaining on the listing, which means based on a 7-day listing, they would have relisted it the exact same day that I won the original listing ended. That tells me that they had absolutely no intention of selling it for the price that I wanted. I mean, like I said, these items they sell even loose, they sell for 30, $40 a pop. So if I went in for 20 less than $20 at 1950, yeah, she didn't get the price that she wanted, and she freaking had that's why she did that. The fact that I had asked about an accessory, oh my god, I bet she was gleaming. I bet she was smiling ear to ear. That gave her a reason. That gave her an excuse to cancel my order. It's like, hey, brush it aside. Don't let it bother you. Block them. I don't want to brush it aside, man. It's like when I sell something on eBay, right? I put something on auction. It gets a bid, and it does, and then nobody ever pays. I wait 3 days, 4 days, and then I reach out to the buyer. Hey, it's been 4 days. Are you still interested in this item? I haven't heard from you. A week goes by. I reach out a few times. Don't hear anything from the buyer, and they have absolutely no response ever. All they're doing is hoping that I leave, because as a buyer or as a seller I can't leave them negative feedback. All I could do is leave them positive feedback and then put in the comments about the transaction, negative feedback, write the words negative feedback, and then write comments what happened in the transaction, right? So, and all they're doing is they're bulking up their feedback rating. It's infuriating. So on Facebook, I'm noticing that a lot of people they're taking screenshots and they're alerting other buyers, other people on Facebook, hey, this person's a scammer. They're taking other people's pictures. Be careful. And I'm like, I love that. I like, thank you. They're alerting other people about spammers, other scammers out there. I'm like, that's what we need to be doing. We need to be alerting other people. Hey Rick, what's going on, buddy? Man, I'm trying to be Rick, man. It's been a frustrating week. I mean, it was an okay week. I mean, it wasn't horrible. I mean, every week, it has its days. I know a lot of time I get on here, it's like, this guy just seems miserable all the time, but nah, not really miserable. Things can always be better, but it's like so and so. It just so happens that when I get on here, I just kind of talk about some of the negatives. But I guess when I get on here, I talk about the negatives and I kind of vent. And then when I make my pre-made videos, I kind of talk about some of the positives. That's why I like, doing review videos and stuff like that. That's talking about the positive stuff, right? And then the live streams, they're it's kind of like my venting time or something. So, but not always. But a lot of good stuff this week. Wife and I, we went out a couple times, did some sourcing, had a lot of really good pickups. I expect, hopefully, once I'm able. Oh, I got to do a video about that. Facebook, man. That's more venting right there. I got to do a serious individual video about Facebook. Guys, check this out. Uh Hold on. I got my phone here for you guys. I I got to bring this up for you guys because check this out. Um Hold on. I don't know if I have it on here. I got to figure out which one it's listed under. So, um well, here's one, but that's not a good example. I'm trying to find a list. So, you guys know whenever I create a listing, right? I create my listings on eBay. I create my listings on Mercari. Those two are always guaranteed. I copy and paste the listing title, the description, and I put them all in the same thing. The pictures, I put them in eBay, I put them in Mercari, and I started putting them in Facebook a few months ago. I started putting them in sometimes maybe even in Poshmark. I've had Poshmark for like a year and a half, 2 years now. I never made a single sale on Poshmark, so I don't know what the hell Poshmark does. Uh, like literally, what the hell does Poshmark do? I don't know shit about Poshmark. I mean, it's trash. I thought Poshmark was for clothes or something. I put a million of my wife's clothes on there, but I get nothing. But damn, I gotta get a good example here. I get all of these every single time I list something on Facebook within seconds or minutes of listing something on Facebook. I get nothing but freaking spam. Spam, spam, spam. And it's like a lot of the time these spammers, it's like they're going off a playbook. Sometimes it's almost word for word. And check this out. Here's an example. So I went sourcing, right? From one of my favorite bin stores that I found. And one of the examples that I bought was a Mainstays 18-inch floating black finish shelf, 18-inch wide, 5.5-inch diameter by 1.5-inch height, Mainstay black shelf. I don't know if you could see it, but basically that one right there. Um, so brand new in package, right? And I get this message. It says, "Hi, I'm interested in item you posted on Marketplace. I tried to text you and send you a direct message on Messenger, but sorry, it won't let me message you through the listing for some reason. Kindly inbox me via Messenger." And I can list probably 20 items on Facebook in a day, and almost every single one of my listings will get that type of message from multiple people. And in Louisville, there's probably a dozen different things like yard sales and different things like that on Marketplace, Louisville Marketplace that I attach it to, right? And so I get all of these spam things from all those different areas. And I in the past it was like when I first started listing on that, I'm like, okay, direct message them, great. Uh, and that you would think that you had a sales. And at first, I didn't realize that this was spam. Uh, Several weeks ago, and this is what got me. A guy said that he paid me. He had paid me through PayPal, and so I'm looking at my phone and I'm waiting for that thing to pop up and said, "Hey, you've been paid." No message. He's like, "Hey, keep checking your PayPal. Keep checking your PayPal." Nothing. Uh, and then at some point, it's like, "Oh, you got to have a business account." Here's the funny thing. On YouTube, I found I watch a lot of these, content makers that, have Facebook accounts and eBay, right? So they talk about this exact same thing too, and I laugh at it because I'm like, yes, the same crap happened to me, and I found it hilarious. You gotta have a business account. I'm like, no, that's that's not right at all. It doesn't matter if you have a regular account or business account. It doesn't matter. What kind of BS are you trying to pull here? And then he's like, okay, I got to send you $500 more. And then you just got like, okay, stop right there. Okay, of course, I was playing along just to kind of make this guy feel comfortable, like he got me. I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm calling PayPal. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, I'm calling PayPal. Yeah. Um, in my AOL because my dumbass sent him my damn email, thinking, of course, at first I thought this was real, right? Then I looked at the PayPal, PayPal at gmail.com. I'm like, you stupid son. God, this guy was so stupid. He thought he freaking got me. Yeah. I'm in the process I'm in the process of calling PayPal right now, calling the phone number that they had on there. I'm like, yeah, block, dumb mother. God, that guy was so stupid. But you know what? If you're dealing with like the elderly or something and they don't freaking know better, these freaking scammers, they could pull one over on these innocent folks all the time. So I freaking hate these people. I these freaking low lives. Mm. So yes, when folks are like, "Hey, let it roll off your shoulder," block them, move on. No, I just don't want to let just let it roll off. I want to call these assholes off as much as humanly possible. We need to do something about these idiots. We need to get these clowns banned whenever we see them. So, because if we don't do anything about it, it's good. It's just going to keep on happening. Like that moron that I was talking about with the NECA figure. I mean, here's the thing. I can. It's listed again. I could bid on it again. Maybe I can win it back for that price again. And now here's a conundrum I run into. I can win it for let's say I win it for $20 again. I can win it, buy it from them, get a great price, and give business to someone I despise, or I can not give them my business, buy it from someone else, and pay $30 more than what I would have won from this jerk, right? So that's what sucks. That's that's where I'm at. Mm. So that is what's going on with the eBay and Facebook this week. Oh, so wife and I yesterday we uh, we went sourcing, and God, my memory sucks. My memory's terrible. Where the heck did we go? Did we go to? I think we freaking went to. I think we went to Peddler's Mall yesterday. I freaking like the Peddler's Mall that we go to in Louisville over on what the hell is that street? Cut something. Because there's one like right near our house that's like 5 minutes away. But in Louisville, there's a street called Outer Loop. We drive straight down Outer Loop. There's one that's probably like 15 minutes away. So you could go to the one that's like 11 miles away. That's further away, obviously, or you could go to the one that's like half a mile away from the house. So, but the one that's like a mile from the house is that's like less than 5 minutes away. It doesn't really have much. I mean, it's a big store, right? Don't get me wrong, but and I kind of look at this Peddler's Mall as like a flea market, but it really isn't a flea market, because you look at a flea market as people are just trying to sell things for like low prices. But this Peddler, no, man, it's like my wife, she picked up a Bride of Chucky, like a Chucky and Tiffany package, something called like I think it was called like Meg Toys or something. And I looked at it, I'm like, oh shit, that's badass. And they got a price tag of like $39 on. I'm like, okay, this looks pretty awesome. Maybe vintage. I don't know. She looked it up. I'm like, no, they're selling this at Walmart for like $35. I'm like, okay. Okay, so it's a modern day figure and it's selling locally. It's selling at a Walmart. So it's no, it's not you can't consider Peddler's Mall to be a flea market because it's not. People they're actually they're vendors. They set up these booths at this mall, and obviously people they go to these booths, they pull the stuff off the rack shelves, whatever. Some people have their stuff displayed neatly, and others they just have their crap thrown about. But I want to film walking through these this peddler's mall and whatnot, but I don't know, man. Like sometimes I just feel awkward as hell with my phone out like this filming, man. It just looks creepy as heck, especially with other people walking by and stuff, looking at you all weird. I tried doing it for a couple minutes the other day, and one woman looked at me all weird, and I'm like, I had to stop, man. I it just looks so weird. Like today, wife and I went to Mimi's Deals, the bin store I like to go to, and same thing, man. I just if you got your phone and you're like trying to go through the bins and search, it's so hard to like have your phone at the ready and try to like film while you're in the process of trying to shop, right? So anyways, where was I? Always go off topic. So we were sourcing at the mall yesterday, and then we got back home, and in the kitchen, big old freaking lake on the ceiling. The freaking floor was covered in water. Ah, hell. Like clockwork. I say it all the time. Whenever you're trying to achieve a goal in life, the universe is always against you. The universe hates you. Adulting is so freaking hard, man. I know it's not me, it's literally everybody. It's like you send in a check, and it's like, bam, the last $200, my credit card is paid off. Then your kid gets sick, and you got to go to the doctor, and bam, you got $700, and you got to put that back on your credit card. It's like you got to throw your hands up, like, damn, really? Or bam, you just sent in a check, and your last $500 check, and your car is now paid off in full. But now your side swiped, and now you've got to pay $1,500 to get the dent in your car buffed out, or however whatever the hell they do to get that dent fixed, something like that, right? In our garage, I mean, you've seen me film in the garage a couple of times when I did my eBay videos, right? So I've had to open up the two garage doors to kind of bring in more light in their garage. But generally, you got a couple of the lights where the two garage doors lift up, and you got two, mediocre lights on the two ends of the garage. I reached out to Tom Drexler, Heating and Plumbing. They also do the vents, air conditioning and electricity, and they're the ones that did the recessed lighting in my basement. For anyone that's been watching my channel since the very get-go, since the very very first episode, if you watch the pilot episode, or first several episodes, you see how dark my basement was when I first started filming, right? And it's why I had to start moving up into the dining room from like episode 10 to like episode 40 or 50 or whatever, because the basement filming was just so dark. Now, being down in the basement was fine, but it's just like when you're watching it on camera, it looks dark. So I had to hire Tom Drexler to add recessed lights in the basement to make it super freaking bright. And several days ago, I hired Tom Drexler to come back and add new lighting into the garage, and also put a couple additional lights in the storage room in the basement. And that cost of that was probably a few months worth of mortgage payments. So Pricey, but it was worth it. Garage door is shut. Flip that freaking light switch on. If I have an eBay sale and it's middle of the night, go down into the garage and I need to go pull something off the shelf. I don't have to pull out a camera or a flashlight to go find the package. That darn basement, that darn garage is just lit up. Love it. If I actually had freaking internet connection in that garage, I could start doing some live streams in the garage now. That is how lit up and beautiful it is out there now. So, and now to have this, so I had to call Tom Drexler back, but hey, there's a leak, man. They came in, had to literally cut out the damn drywall in our kitchen or in the little dining area part of the kitchen. That sucks, man. I love that part. Now there's a big giant freaking hole in that part of the wall. And he was looking at the pipes, the copper pipes. Is like they don't know if that's mold or what that is, but the way that he talked about it, some kind of, well, how did he describe it? But long story short, they gotta replace those pipes. That's probably gonna be a couple $1,000 replacement right there. We also had to hire restoration company to come in. So they came in with some humidifiers. They had to cut out a huge more part of the drywall as well. So our whole entire kitchen now is all bagged off. It looks like ET in the kitchen. You know, ET when they put all the little bag to block off the kitchen. So you got to get the little zipper to enter the kitchen. You gotta zip up the kitchen, a baggy area, so to walk into the talking to it. I'm like, damn, because the kitchen has three entrance points. So the dining room on this side, uh, living room number two on this side, and then the foyer and right here in the middle. So all of those are like bagged up, little zipper entrance, and you got the humidifier running 24/7. Also, he said that the upstairs, the main hallway, second story bathroom, uh, toilet, I guess. I mean, this is a 1970s house, right? I guess that had something in the tank had busted or something. Maybe that's the reason why there was a flood or why it was leaking. So we had to replace the toilet. Yes. So for him to cut out the drywall, for him to replace the toilet, over $1,000. Like, Jesus Christ. We had to pay him. We had to pay. And yes, I had to. And of course, my wife thought we had to go through like uh, home warranty or something. I'm like, why do you want to go through home warranty? We have AAA home insurance. We have AAA home insurance. We have AAA car insurance. We have AAA life insurance. We have AAA insurance for absolutely everything. But I'm like, why you went? Okay, so we got home warranty. Now we're paying, but we got that now, which is fine because we got that home warranty. So now if like the dishwasher breaks or if like if the pipes breaks now, we could get that 85 surcharge. If they can't fix it, then we'll replace that all for free. So additional insurance coverage. Washer and dryer breaks again. They'll repair it. $85 charge. They'll repair it. Or if they can't repair it, they can you know replace it 100%. So, but that was an additional charge that we paid. So it's like Jesus. I'm like, I just wanted to like buy some items at these stores that I could resell and try and earn like a few dollars. Like I buy this item for $6, maybe I can resell it for 10 and earn a $4 profit. I'm like, this $4 profit is not gonna pay back $1,000 in freaking lost uh universe, adulting. So that is my life. But that's been my life since the army, man. Like whenever I was close to like paying off the credit card or like paying off like the car or something, like some major expenditure would pop up. Like you would like the universe would not allow you to come close to achieving your goals, or you're close to paying off the house. Like let's say you had $100,000 in your savings account, and you had your house cost $105,000, and then it's like and then your furnace broke, and that cost $8,000 to replace the furnace. Well, you got to take $8,000 out of your savings to pay for the furnace, and now you're down to $92,000. So you're now $13,000 away from paying off your house. It's that type of situation, right? But really, you're not 13,000 away from paying off your house, because you're not going to take all of your money out to pay off your house. You're going to wait. If you're $13,000 away, you're probably going to wait till you get to at least 3,000 above what you have. So you still have a little bit of money left over in your savings. You're not going to empty out your account, right? So, uh, pool. I haven't been talking about the pool lately. Apparently, apparently there is a sewer system below my backyard. Now, and the next door neighbor, so when you're facing like the backyard, when you're looking out the backyard, the house is like on a downward slope, right? So the house to the right, there's like a concrete sewer type of thing that you see to the right. I don't know if you kind of consider that to be a sewer, but that's not our backyard. Um, yeah, it a curse. Hey, Rick, man, you're not kidding, buddy, man. Oh, like I said, that's been happening since the army, bud. I can't escape it. There have been so many times I've been so freaking close, but before I talk about the pool, here's the thing. I wanted a 1970s house. When I moved to Kentucky, I could have gotten a new build. I decided to go for the 1973 house, and I don't regret it, not really, because there's something special about houses that are made in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, maybe. I don't really know if 1980s houses have the same flair, but yeah, maybe 80s potentially. But I think 1970s houses are made differently. I think 70s houses are made to stand the test of time type of deal. Now, older houses aren't really, better per se. Like if you buy a house from 1910, 1920, that's not going to say that that's better, because you buy a house from 1910, you walk into a bedroom, that bedroom is going to be like 8 feet by 6 feet. And that's going to be like a master bedroom. I mean, it's going to be tiny. Or the master closet is going to be like 3 feet long. So No, because people were smaller back then and didn't have as much stuff. So yeah, closets are tiny, right? So, but no, you go to like a 1970s house and they got like three, four bedrooms, and their closets are like massive. The bedrooms are huge. They got like multiple living rooms, like this house. You know, so multiple living rooms, basement, so huge square footage. I mean, that was important to me. Or you go to or if you have new builds, everything is all about open concept. I freaking hate that. I one of my favorite shows. I haven't been able to watch in a while because ever since we got rid of Time Warner, we what was it, like last year, year before, I don't know. Like they got rid of Time Warner because we not AT&T. What the hell do we have now? Is it AT&T? I don't even know what the hell we pay for. But our internet is like super fast now in comparison. But like ever since we got rid of like the DVR box, everything is digital now. And my wife doesn't have. I like the old stuff, man. I like the actual cable box. To me, it's so much better. But because she streams everything, she pays for HBO Max or whatever, or she pays for Disney and Hulu and Netflix and all that stuff. It's like, why pay for regular cable? But I miss that stuff. I miss, like, in 2018 when I was working for Raytheon. I miss coming home and sitting in front of, picking up the DVR controller and having everything I've DVR'd recorded, and having it in this living room and going upstairs and having it, recorded on that DVR, or going into one of the other bedrooms, having it recorded on that DVR, because I had no life. And I literally had, like, in any given TV season, I probably had like 60 different TV shows taped. And you watch me now, like, I was obsessive with my shows. And today I don't watch anything anymore. Like, I've lost my passion for movies and TV shows. They just don't do it for me. Like, I don't enjoy watching shows anymore. But but I would like to have a DVR to actually be able to sit down and actually watch freaking live TV stuff, and actually be able to DVR something and actually be able to go back and watch it later on. But anyways, shoot. I don't know what the hell I was how I always go off on these tangents, and what sucks is I go off on these tangents. I have no idea what the hell I was talking about to get to go there. But I was, at the very least, I was talking about new builds. I can at least backtrack to there where I can at least remember. Everything is about open concept, which I despise. Hey, I'm in the kitchen and I'm cooking, and I need to be able to talk to my guests. I got family over, I got friends over. I'm in the kitchen cooking. I need to be able to see you, and I need to be able to talk to you while I'm cooking. I'm like, no. If I need to talk to you, you need to be in the kitchen with me talking to me. All right? What what I need is four walls. If I'm in the kitchen, I need to know that, hey, these four walls are the kitchen. If I'm in the dining room, these four walls tell me that this is the dining room. These four walls tell me that, hey, I am now passing this threshold and I am now entering the living room. Because once I pass this threshold, I am no longer in the front room. I am now entering the dining room. I am entering this kitchen. Like our home in Texas, which it was like a 1,400 square foot house. I mean, it was small as hell, but it was our first, official house. Technically, our family housing in Fort Hood was our first house officially, but it was, it was military housing, so you can't really count that. But our house in Colleen, first floor was living room, dining room, and kitchen. It was there really wasn't a living room. It's like dining room table sits right there. Bam, that's your dining room. Wherever you place your dining room table, that's what you're classifying as your dining room. I despise that. So all these new builds, that's what everything has to be open concept. And I no. So when I bought this house, one of the most important things to me was that separation of room. The fact that I bought this house and it said, hey, this had its own singular room that said that this was its dining room. That was so important to me. Um, and the fact that it had two different living rooms, I'm like, damn, that's incredible. Actually, the front room that we spent the most time in, I actually wanted to kind of use that as like a sort of gym room because I didn't want to put the gym in the darn garage because I knew I would never work out in the garage. But if it was actually in the main house, yeah, I probably would. But my wife kind of usurped the main front room and the second front room. I kind of like just it's just there. Most of the time, I just use it as like a staging room for my boxes whenever I'm creating listings or something before I kind of take them downstairs to the garage before I store them away. But so, older houses, they're just built differently. And when you buy an older house, older problems. So you know that you're kind of preparing yourself for those issues. And the fact that we got here what December 17 and it's been 7.5 years and a lot of the issues are minimal ish. I mean, we've now replaced the first floor toilet. We now replaced one of the second floor toilets. So we've had we've had to cut the ceiling a couple of different times now. I've actually the cat pissed on the floor once, and I think that's why we had to cut one of the ceiling and had it respackled and everything. So I think that's why that happened. And that sucked that had to that we had to redo the carpet because of that. Actually, we had to redo the carpet. Actually, no, we actually redid the living room carpet because my wife knocked my drink out of my hand and we spilled juice all over the floor. But it was terrible carpet, like hideous carpet in that main living room. So the carpet that we have in there now is beautiful blue carpet. So I would have replaced that carpet eventually, anyways. Mm. But I think I've pretty much hit on all the topics I wanted to talk about, man. Oh, of course, the pool. That was like the main idea. So, this is so frustrating. Plat of survey. A plat of survey is not required when you buy or sell a house, but in order to get a pool done, they require a plat of survey to show the lines, to show your property lines, right? And I am stupid as hell. I have no idea where to get that crap done. I reached out to one of my old realtor, be like, hey, I bought this house through you before. Uh, any ideas who the hell to go through to get this information from? I've been on the phone for hours with like the city of Louisville and going through them through the state of Kentucky is freaking impossible. All you go through is like automated system after automated system before you finally get a live representative, right? And when you finally get a live person, the person I got on the phone with was amazing. She was fantastic, but she had to keep putting me on hold because she was constantly trying to find the answers for me. But when she finally, got me the number that I needed, transferred me, more automated systems. That is so freaking frustrating. So I don't know who to go through to find this information. So Kayak Pools needs all of this information about Plav survey. I'm like, I don't know how to get that information for you. Um, what part of the process to save me money was to do my own permit, but they wanted they wanted Plav survey. I'm like, okay, I can't find it, so can I even just pay you guys the permit? Have you guys take care of that for me? So I paid the extra money, redid the contract, but they still want the Plav survey. Apparently, that part is not covered under the permit. That still falls under me. I'm like, damn. Well, shoot, I might if I'm still required to do the Plav survey, which was the biggest pain in the ass, I might as well do the permit myself too. But I really want this pool to be finished, man. They were basically saying beginning of summer, but they can't do anything until the permit's done. And now I'm getting word that they may not be able to do the in-ground pool because there's some kind of sewer system below my backyard. So if I can't get an in-ground pool, do I have to get an above-ground pool? I really want an in-ground pool, but does that really matter that much? Does that really make much of a difference? Because I'm still going to get that deck, that full-on deck and everything. I'm still going to have the neon lights. I mean, I'm still going full-on with that. I'm still going to have that full-on Michael Phelps Olympic size pool, man. Shoot, I'm I'm going to make my house the place to be. Okay, when I'm gonna pimp that damn thing out. I am going to put a grill out there, full on chairs. I'm going to make this house perfect. I'm going to make sure that I live comfortably for as long as I'm alive. Hopefully for the next 40 to 60 years. And hey, whoever wants to come visit, everyone always knows that, hey, there's going to be something special. There's going to be good reason to come visit down here. Mm. Oh. Oh, shoot. I was just thinking a couple weeks ago when I was doing my LJN Tuesday show, there were some figures in that video that I was looking at, and it got me inspired. It got me nostalgic because there was some figures that I had from the 90s, and we were looking at some particular LJNs, right? And very similar figures from the 90s that I had as a kid. And I want to recollect those. They're not wrestling related, but there's something I had from childhood, and I would like to have them. And I put up a I don't know if I put it up on a face. Yeah, yes, I did. I put it up on Facebook. I also put it up on on my YouTube community notes. Little stretch dog. I don't know if anybody was able to figure out what exactly I was talking about, but based on that stretch dog, I think some people may have been able to figure out the idea behind it. And uh, gotta get some more rum and coke. think it's gonna be more Coke than rum. So last week I got a particular figure that I didn't really have when I was a kid, but it was my first acquisition for that particular line. A few days ago, I got two of this particular character's pet, two different variants. And yesterday, actually no, yesterday I got both variants of that particular pet. One of which I had as a kid, and I got the main character that I had as a kid. And I really wish that I had known that these expenditures were going to be coming before I made these purchases, a week ago, because these son of a guns were freaking expensive. And like I said, if I had known that this stuff was coming, I wouldn't have bought them because uh they were up there in price. But at the time, it was a good investment for me. Like I said, they were non-wrestling related, but they were for nostalgic reasons, for collecting reasons. They were something that I really wanted, and I desperately needed to have for my mind's sake, for my needs. I'm still hoping that somebody can figure out what they are. I really want to do a video about them, and I want to see if anyone in the comments can figure it out before I start talking about them. Uh, if somebody mentions them in the comments, I will talk about it. If not, I will probably make a video about it individually. Otherwise, the packages obviously they're 30 years old, so the packages aren't pristine. But I would like to get them in acrylic cases. Now, based on the size, they're probably, let's say, 15 by 9 by 4. If anybody out there knows anyone that makes acrylic cases, even if they're not acrylic cases, even if they're like just plain plastic cases, 15 by 9 by 4, please let me know. I need that. 15, 9, and then, 4. Yeah. Yeah, 4 this way. I need that bad because I need to get those things protected. I I can't keep them in my 90s display room, my bedroom. More than likely, I'm probably gonna have to put them in the garage when I end up putting uh, new, new dis, new display shelves in there. So, anyways, what's up, babe?
Cubby needs her pills.
Okay, I'll be down there about an hour, 20 minutes,
An hour and 20 or just 20?
probably 20 or 30.
Okay. It's not down there, it's up here.
Um, yeah. So. Oh man, Rick, I'm sorry to hear that, buddy. Yeah, man, I thought going to retirement, man. I'm like, heck yeah. After I'm like, hey, after working 12 plus years or about 12 years overseas, I'm like, hey, I'm already collecting military retirement. I'm like, I should have made enough money working overseas that I'm like, military retirement mixed in with overseas combat pay that I've been making over all these years. I, I don't. I'm tired of like working for other people. Um, I need to start working for myself. But one of the things I kept thinking about was what was the point of going to school, right? I got a master's degree. In fact, I was actively going for my PhD and I was pretty damn close to graduating. And the whole point of getting that damn doctor's degree was to actually work and actually utilize it, right? Utilize it in the workforce so that some other person, some other company could pay you for it. You don't want to work for yourself with a freaking doctorate degree. You don't want hell, you don't want to work for yourself with a master's degree. At that point, you're basically getting that degree only for like, self-preservation. You're getting it for like, hey, I got this degree and now I'm like, yay me. That's like all it boils down to. But I just got so infuriated for working for so many damn people who just did not appreciate anything that you freaking did or accomplished for them, for the employer. And I'm like, why? You bust your freaking ass off and you get nothing in return. I mean, you get a job. I mean, let me backtrack, guys. You have a job at the end of the day. You have you have a job, you got benefits, you got a paycheck, you're able to pay your bills and support your family. All right, there is never any complaints there. It's never so much about the company itself as much as a lot of the people that they have in leadership roles. And a lot of time it's people that you work with are incredible people. And sometimes even leadership that you have, it might be really awesome, but it might be those onesies and twosies that they have that are just freaking assholes that just ruin it for everybody. And particularly one of the last jobs I had one individual who was just one of the worst human beings. That was just the devil incarnate, who just made life miserable for absolutely every single person that she ever came in contact with. And I'm like, how can you be that universally despised by every single person you've ever met? And I'm like, wow. After that, after my multiple injuries, I'm like literally, I'm too freaking hurt at this point. And like it really got to a point where like I physically could not do the job that I was capable of doing for 20 years. And did I want to work, I don't know, sell insurance for $9 an hour when I was used to making 100 plus as an overseas contractor? And it's kind of sad. Even when I got hurt and I came home and I was still applying for jobs, it's like that's sad. I mean, and I would be so horrible to like go into like high schools or elementary schools and like try and preach education to people because like I would not recommend it to people. That's why I would be a horrible advocate for further education. It just does not make sense to me. Like when I was nothing more than a high school graduate, opportunities were so vast. Some of my highest jobs, some of my highest paid job opportunities were from having no more than a high school diploma. But the second that I started putting bachelor's degree on my diploma or on my resume, master's degree on my diploma, the second I started putting, PhD I didn't finish my PhD, so but you get the drift though, right? But put master's degree on my resume. I could not get a damn job to save my life. I am like, wow. Now, luckily, at those times, I had my military retirement, you know, to keep me in check and everything, and because at that point I was already, you know, I was started selling on eBay and stuff, and that was like, you know, secondary business for me, and you know that was like pocket change, right? I mean, at the very beginning of eBay, um, a lot of the stuff that I was selling was was military gear, you know, stuff that I had acquired and had left over. So a lot of the military stuff that was more than pocket change. Like I was that was legitimate money. I could be making like $3,000 in a month, uh, you know, selling that stuff. You know, $1,000 a month here, $2,000 a month there, type of deal. But once I sold all that stuff, what did I have left over? Nowadays, like between my two eBay accounts, like shoot, I'm lucky if I make $50 in a month sometimes. So literally nowadays it's like barely pocket change. Like when I say it's pocket change, it literally is nothing than that, more than that. Mm. But guys, at an hour and 17 minutes, I think this has been a very good live stream, and but shoot, man, I hate ending live streams with a full glass. Uh, do I dare gulp this down before we say goodbye? Or I could at least take this to an hour and a half. What more do I have to say, though? I don't know what more I could possibly talk about. Ugh, all right. Wish me luck. I'm probably going to die. Actually, it's mostly Coke, so I think I should be all right. Up. I that was only a small sip. I was wrong. I put way too much freaking rum in there. Oh yeah, I'm gonna die. Mm. Whew. Okay, we're not gonna make it to an hour and a half. That last sip took it out of me. Hey, good night, Rick. Take care, buddy. I'm just gonna stay on long enough to finish this off, and then I'm gonna say good night. You know, in fact, shoot, man. Probably didn't need. Shoot, man. Yeah, now I'm starting to like really sound bad. Probably didn't even need that extra light. Oh god. But yeah, I'm gonna probably see if I can get some extra. What is it called? For extra. Oh man, now I can't even think straight. Extra internet connection. I'm gonna try and get some extra internet connection for the basement or for the garage. I would like to start making some videos down there at some point. Not just some like regular posted videos, but like actual live streams because not like these type of videos, but like maybe it's a random Tuesday morning. Maybe I'll just like, hey, it's 11 a.m. on a Tuesday. Maybe I'll just do a live stream where I'm like just doing a cleanup or something, and I just want to shoot the shit or something. Man, it looks like now everybody's starting to tune in, but guys, I see now everybody's tuning in, but I'm getting ready to sign out soon. But I think everybody saw that I was getting drunk as shit. Now now everybody wants to see me drunk. Not cool, guys. Don't see me drunk. That's not the right thing to do. Actually, no, see me drunk is funny as hell. Or who's that one dude that was kind of making fun of me? The foul mouth drunkard. Actually, he didn't call me the foul mouth drunkard. He called me the foul mouth drunk. And I just kind of abbreviated or kind of expanded on the name and turned it into my own nickname. Although I'm kind of enjoying the '80s Revolution nickname now. Maniac Matt Watson. I don't know, man. It's growing on me. It's growing on me, and now I don't know which one I like better. So who's joining the live stream? Is it Maniac Matt Watson or is it the foul mouth drunkard? Because I'm not cursing, so it's like I can't be the foul mouth drunkard if I'm not swearing, right? But I can't make this a so-called family friendly channel if I'm cursing up a storm. So do I dare create a second YouTube channel and make that the foul mouth drunkard? But who would watch that, and would it get the subscriber count I want? Because would that be the persona I want to showcase to my viewers? I just like the moniker, man. The moniker sounds awesome. But would it be like would it be false? Would it be a false moniker? Would it be too forced, I think. I think it would be too, because it's not like in my nature, just like to be cursing up a storm. I think it would be kind of like I think it would sound forced. Ugh. Oh god. Hour and 23 minutes. Oh god. All right. Hour 23 minutes. But I have OCD, so I can't just stop at an hour 23 minutes, so I got to keep it going to an hour and 25 minutes. Yes. I literally am that psychotic. I can't stop at 123. Hey, Rob. Oh, God. Hey, buddy. Hey, Brick, man. You know what? I might start going off of that. You know what? Maniac Matt Watson might make an appearance from this point forward. All right. I think I'm gonna cut it out at exactly 125, just because my OCD won't let me go any further. Yeah, Rod, man. My brain won't let me go any further, bud. It's hard to keep my head up, so I'm about to quit real quick. Oh yeah, I'm done, bud. I'm just letting this thing count down. So I'm gonna say good night, everybody, and I will see everybody next time. Oh, guys, still